Good morning, team. So today is Halloween and I thought I would shoot more of a business video in a Halloween vibe, and I thought it would be interesting. I know I've kind of done a behind the scenes before, but I'm going to do this one different and talk more about the process of how I actually film stuff. Why do I do these sort of things? I actually started this sort of stuff as a bit of a random thing. I started it for Christmas last year, and that's where I introduced Jeff into my business, who's like supposed to be a character that kind of like messes things up and always gets stuff wrong. And people really enjoyed that. I think that people enjoy when you have fun with stuff, that you're having fun with your brand, and therefore they feel they can get involved. And I've kind of had something brewing in the back of my mind as to I wanted to do something again like that, and this time for Halloween, so I thought it was a good time. As usual with most of my stuff, like I start with an idea and then I kind of build with it, and then I have to kind of bring it back due to like time and how long it takes to shoot, and ultimately I shoot all my stuff on my own, so it kind of doubles the time that it actually takes to get involved and get things done. So the premise of this shoot is that we're going to bring a new character on board. His name is going to be Steve, and Steve is a zombie editor. Like, he's going to be my video editor. I don't think he's going to run as well as Jeff for like length, so Jeff's still going. It's been now like nearly a year with Jeff kind of in and out of things, but I just want to do something for Halloween. The technical issues that we've got here is that the mask that I'm going to use is very limited. You can't really move the mouth, and I think the sound's going to be rubbish out of it, so I've really got to keep his part to more of a kind of visual part rather than a sound part, so there won't be any speaking lines for him. I think it's all going to be like sounds of what zombies would do. So what I've done already is laid out. This is what I do for most of my videos. I lay out like a basic scripting idea. This is more how I do my vlogs. This is not how I normally do my business ones, because my business ones normally have a main script. So yeah, what I do is just kind of lay out, like I've got kind of an introduction and kind of where I want it to go. I don't want to teleprompt this one because we're trying to make it as quick as possible, so I'm trying to make it just move and trying to break it into blocks that I think are filmable. So we've got kind of a basic introduction followed by a kind of like an introduction and a handover. Then we're going to do like maybe a little custom intro for this piece, and then we'll hand over to the zombie, and then basically it'll be that kind of like just round it out and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to film. We don't have much time. I've got to film and edit it very quickly because I've got other stuff that I need to concentrate on, and these are really supposed to be quite fun and interesting for people, but they shouldn't take me a whole lot of time. I prefer to spend time on clients' work, or like stuff that's actually gonna win me money. That said, my biggest issue with that Christmas film is that I really didn't bother that hard with sound last time, and a lot of people watched it, and I hate it when my stuff sounds bad. It just bugs the hell out of me. Sounds bad, looks bad. Like, I just like my stuff to look good. So I think that's it for about now. I'm gonna crack on with a bit of a setup. We'll start recording, and I'll give you guys an update as we go along. I think what I'll do is use this as my main camera, which I always shoot on, and I'll switch to my backup camera, so the picture profile won't be as good, but you guys, you get the idea. Cool, so the film pieces have just wrapped up, which means that it's time to basically, I've finished my little intro pieces, talking like all the scripted bits that I want to do with me. Now it's time to costume up and do a bit of Steve stuff, and then I think we need to head outside and grab some kind of additional bits that will just like finish this project off. To be honest, it's running pretty well on time. As I've said before, I really want to keep this piece short and minimal effort. I'm probably spending more on this vlog than I am on the actual video, so yeah, there we go. Costume. I am now in costume, which means I now get to do Steve's part. I've got this mask as well. If you want to see more as to how this was all constructed, then I should have either, this will probably go out first, but there will be a video on my personal channel about all of this. Don't feel like that piece went particularly well. I just kind of did stuff and made noises. The thing was, when I did the original costume, I painted my hands. I'm trying to keep those out of shot because I feel that, I don't know, costume integrity and all those sort of things. As an actor, one tries to portray the role properly. Yeah. So according to the script, we've now got everything, which I'm a bit worried that I haven't, but I do that like every time, and I normally over record stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut it there. We'll take it in for editing, see if I need to do anything else. Oh, I'm supposed to be outside. That's what I'm missing, is the outside bit. So we better go and do that. So I've managed to find a vacant block near my house, which will suffice for this part of the shoot. And basically all we're going to do is walk slowly across, because we talk about in the script that Steve is like a slow worker. So just going to do that. I would like to report that this mask is really hot in the Australian baking sun. Oh. I don't really like the take on that, so I'm going to have to do another one. I've faced away from the camera far too much. I figure that will probably do. So yeah, that's pretty much how my shoots generally roll, like the small ones, not the commercial projects. There's a lot more planning involved in the commercial stuff. But for me, I generally write some sort of plan so that my thoughts are kind of on paper, and it means that you don't miss anything. All of this stuff is about trying not to miss something. So plan so that you don't miss something. Then shoot pieces in a logical order. Most people, so many clients of mine think that pieces are shot basically in chronological order, so that you basically take file 1 and then file 2, and that makes your film as you go along. And it's not. It's a case of thinking about what order you need to shoot in to minimize camera changes and costume changes. And so for us, that was my intro and my outro were done at the same time, and then everything to do with Steve is done separately. So the next phase is really to look at editing. For me, that's a case of like, before I've moved into editing, I generally review stuff as we go along to try and make sure that we haven't missed anything. And then when we hit editing, that's generally, you're gonna pick something up. No matter how hard you try, there's always something that isn't 100%, it's not perfect. And so at that particular point, I tend to make a judgment call as to whether it's worthwhile refilming or you're just gonna stick with it. For this project, it's quite it's a very small one. It's supposed to be quick. I think I've done this in under an hour, which is even quicker than my kind of like behind the beards and ask the beards and those sort of things. Because I want those ones to present my business and I want them to be spot on. This one is a bit of fun and people understand that, so you can kind of be a bit more sloppy with what's going on. As long as the general concept is there, you'll still be pushing out more than most businesses for something like Halloween. So I'm going to start the editing and we'll see how we go. Cool, well these bad boys are now exporting. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's taken a few hours to do this sort of stuff, but hopefully from a business and a brand perspective it's interesting and people enjoy it and that sort of thing. As ever, I hope this video has been interesting and useful to you guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the content that I'm putting out about my business and you found it of interest and you want to come along on the journey, subscribe to the channel. And as ever, thanks for watching. Yeah, some great tips there, Steve. Thanks for that.